Hello everybody. So tonight, actually it's night for me, as you can see, but it's not maybe not night for you. So maybe happy morning or happy evening. But today we're just gonna present to you a short intro that's gonna be very relevant in our next tutorials, looking at different bioinformatic tools, and most of them obviously asks for something that's called Bash, which involves you to have you can have it also on the Windows. But frequently they ask to have either Linux or some kind of Unix background. So it can be very, very relevant to understand how and where you could download Linux software. Okay, so the Linux distros or distributions, there are multiple of them. Today we're going to introduce the most common, which is called Ubuntu. Actually, Ubuntu 18.04 to be more exact. Okay, so today we're going to introduce the way that you can actually use what are called virtual machines onto your computer rapidly. If I open my software for virtual machines, I have one for my practice, of course, but what these are is basically not mini computers. There's no size involved here, but basically computers running with different operating system in the background on the same hardware, right? Because your computer stays the same, but there's something else running in the background. Of course, here in the back, we still have the Apple, we still have OS X. But if I open one, okay, maybe this one is going to run, okay. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, I have a full, okay, you see the setting is completely different. Of course, the screen is much smaller, but you can see is once I'm outside, my cursor is black. So it's basically in the OS environment. As soon as I cross this border, I get this loading screen. So everything's being loaded here. And here, basically what you have is the Firefox interface, which is not unique to Linux, but it's basically showing that there's we're actually sitting outside. Okay. So what we'll do is going to log out of there. Hopefully nothing too bad and it's going to happen. Okay, back here we are. Just going to bring this. Okay, perfect. Just going to move this. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we're in business. So how do we install virtual machines? So we're going to use VirtualBox. There's no preference here, just something I'm very used to. There's different software out there, but VirtualBox is a very well-known one. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, first, or you can do that second, but just hop onto ubuntu.com or just Ubuntu download. Once you enter the website, just hop onto the download page, and the big difference rapidly between Windows and maybe Mac OS X and Linux is Linux actually has different possibility. It's basically, you could see it as multiple games that offer the kind of similar gameplay, but for different use, right? So let's say you want to have this game on your PS4, well, there'll be the special distro for it. While you want the same game, but maybe on your I don't know, PSP in the times. I don't know if these are still popular, but PSP, you would have the same game on different platforms. So here, if you have Ubuntu, but for a server or different flavors, of course you can have so, but you can also have it for desktop, and both can be specialized. Okay. Once you're here, just press on download. Once it's downloading, just leave it where it is. It's going to prompt you with here for thank you for downloading Ubuntu desktop. As my love for Ubuntu is strong. By the way, I'm just going to delete it because I have, as you can see, multiple versions. Okay, I've already have it. Okay, as I love Ubuntu, if you have the money and you feel like they deserve, feel free to leave some money in here. Okay, personally, as a student, of course, this is basically feeding me for a whole day, so maybe not, but if you feel free. Ubuntu is doing a great job to keep this open source software running. Okay, so once it's downloaded, hop into VirtualBox. So VirtualBox looks like this. So just hop onto your favorite browser and write VirtualBox. You should be prompted with this web page once you're there. Okay, once you're there, just click on download VirtualBox. and select your host. Your host is basically the hardware that you have and the operating system installed on it. So if you have a Windows, download the Windows host version. OS X version is for me, or anybody that has a Mac, and Solaris version if you have, of course, a Linux, and there's different ones for different Linux distro. Okay, Debian or Ubuntu, the different versions. Today we're going to have Bionic. Okay, this 18.04. Okay, and don't worry too much about it, but you need to watch out about the architecture of your CPU. Okay, actually, thinking about it, might not be optimal for people. You need to watch out. So if you have an Intel or an AMD, okay. So that's for today. For regarding these, the question of CPU architecture, won't go more in detail on that, but just download it. For me, it's going to be DMG. Okay. For Windows, it's going to be .exe. Very simple install. Okay. So while this is downloading, we're having Ubuntu here. Okay. So rapidly, most of the stuff that I will do personally can be done in an OS X terminal. But if you have Windows and you're using PowerShell, of course, there's going to be some problems. Okay. Yet again, there's a lot of the tools that you don't need to have a Linux distribution. But understanding Unix and sometimes Linux can offer great advantages. Okay. But again, nothing is impossible. The most important and basic thing you will need in the next bioinformatics tutorials is, of course, having Bash. Okay. But just for relevance, and because it's very, very useful in different areas of computer science running virtual machines, it's very relevant to learn how it works. So just once the DMG is downloaded, open it. Okay, it's going to verify it. Personally, I didn't have any problems, but again, if it stops and says Windows or no, Macintosh or does not accept this, just hop into your preferences, system preferences. Here in security and privacy, you should be prompted here with the option of basically letting it run, and you run your password and it says, okay, I accept it, I know I installed it. Okay, so once you're here, just hop on VirtualBox.package, and simply, it's going to prompt you with an easy wizard. Just click and drag. You might want to modify maybe the directory where you're actually installing the VirtualBox software. But except that, it's a very, very straightforward wizard. Okay, yes, continue, blah, 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 close. Okay, because I already have it. No, I want to install it. Okay. Oh, there's actually okay. Close. Okay, there's actually oh yes, it's true. Okay. And this one also, my dear Ubuntu. Okay. Perfect. Okay, these are stopping. Yes, I want to power off the machine. Okay, perfect. Just gotta close this and run the package. Sorry for this, guys. Okay. So now that we're running the package, as you'll see, just an easy click and drag. And again, if you want maybe download Windows, or you were really, really keen to work on that game and you never could work on it, well, you could just download Virtual Machine and play the game through your Virtual Machine. I'm not sure how the performance is going to fit, actually. But yet again, there's still some possibilities out there. It's going to be very slow. I won't show you too much in the virtual machine. Okay, so change that install location. No, I just want a computer install, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so from here on, I won't I'll write it. Okay, so now I was just writing the files. Okay, perfect, close. Move to trash. Yes, I don't want this on my computer. And just an application. If I go here in VirtualBox, and I should be prompted with yes, excellent. So that didn't change anything. Once you're here, you shouldn't have anything here. Okay, you shouldn't have any Debian, any of these. I can actually Okay, they're actually powered off, but I actually want to keep them. Okay, so to start a new one, just press on new here. I want to have Linux, and I want to have Ubuntu 64, and I'll call it tutorial 1. Just continue. Here, you want to select the memory size. Be smart about it. If you're going to run something that needs a lot of RAM, well, maybe you want to put more, right? That's quite a lot, right? If you want to, I don't know, you're running a super big alignment and, I don't know, you need a lot of RAM, that could be an option. I'll keep it at, let's see this. Yes, I want something. Yes, continue. Dynamically located. Now, I'll create a really small one. But as you'll see, if I create, let's say, something that's decent, so 136 gigabyte. Okay. Create this on my hard drive. Now, it's set up, but you still need to give direction. Find where on your computer you can find actually the Ubuntu directory. So find on your computer. Once you found it, click it. It should appear here, Ubuntu, with the version, desktop, and the architecture here. And everything's going to boot up. Okay. I won't go too much in detail, except one precious detail. If you're having on OS X, okay, you need to understand these are two different computers. This means that your cursor needs to be selected. It needs to be present in two different spaces. So the computer needs to understand when your cursor is in OS X and when it's actually in your window. To do so, the virtual machine will prompt you with a dialog asking you if you want, actually, you might do it now, with if you actually want to have your cursor inside of it. To toggle between both your normal machine or your stock machine and your virtual machine, you will have to toggle using command. So this little symbol here, okay? There might be another way, but for me, exactly. So once you capture, so once I'm captured, what you'll see is I'll actually be stuck. Okay, oh no, not necessarily stuck. Okay, the sound didn't do it. Just having this difference between both, okay? So now I'm just having it, my nice cursor right here in the downloading in the Ubuntu environment, okay? That's gonna prompt me with install and all the different options in language. It's gonna be very straightforward, okay? It's very, very easy to where you are, which country. You can just try Ubuntu, which we'll do, okay? Because I don't want to install it, just take a lot of space. And then it's just going to create a new normal Ubuntu space. You see now, I'm just outside, I'm inside. If I want to toggle between both and get that prompt, simply write on command and press on capture. Yes, I want to capture. Okay. 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 As you can see now, I'm outside. Now I'm inside. Okay. You can see it basically shift from white to dark black. Okay, so now that's with your virtual machine. Just feel free to play. Okay, now it's downloading. Oh, okay, it's actually done it. Okay. Oh, yes, my application. And the terminal. Okay, if that can load. Oh, play. Yes, I want English. Sorry for this setting. Okay, I'm actually going to remove it if that could be possible. Yes. Okay, perfect. We're in the terminal. Guys, we're in. Perfect. Okay, so now the orientation in the system. So now there's a big question. What do we have here? Okay, so there's many commands. The first line of command you should learn is list. List allows you to basically describe what's in there. But there's so many things you must say. What are these? Well, these are documents or directories. Okay. Usually, depending on the way it's set up, Ubuntu, usually here we have in dark blue, we have directories. We can actually check this with what we call a flag. So adding extra info to the command. Well, we can see here, there's a D in front of these. So these are directories. And what are these? Rapidly, we'll go over it more in details in other tutorials, but rapidly. The first three are the rights that you have on the file as a user. These are as a group. These are others. These directory, here it's a file, just a dash. R stands for read, this stands for write, this stands for executable, and the same three-letter code applies for the next three, which are the group. These are everybody else. Okay. Ubuntu, these are the owners, blah, blah, blah. Size of the file, and the date of creation. Okay. If you want to learn more about these, you can either what is called a manual or man page. If I just do man page ls, you see I'm prompted with a lot of info. These are all the different flags with different information, sort by file size, you know. You have R with recursive. Okay. To quit it, just press Q and we're back here. So we learned about ls, about flags, and about the different settings on the files and the different priorities of usage to them. Okay. So now that's nice. LSing. Well, okay, there's things, but what is this tilde? Tilde stands for home. Okay. So I think this should work. Oh, if my computer, as it is, I don't know if it's in the same language here. Okay. So if I type echo, echo basically, it's like speaking. It speaks out what this means. Okay. For example, if I type echo ls, it's not going to do the ls command. It's just going to say, well, you said to me echo ls, I'm going to echo ls. But if I echo this, it shows that it's a home, Ubuntu. So this is basically your home directory. Okay? But actually, there's things both in the back, in the forefront, and in the background of this. So how to move, let's say I'm now in home Ubuntu, how do I move just to home? The way to do it is use the cd command. Again, cd has a man page. Oh, it's true. Because cd is part of it's a built-in. Okay, it's true. Cd, because it has no arguments, cd can either go back, right? So cd double dot moves you back. So ls here, we see we have Ubuntu. And to move back into Ubuntu, what you do cd Ubuntu. But the trick is don't write the full word. Write the first couple of letters and press tab, and you'll see there's this wonderful tool that just auto-completes it for you. Sorry. Okay. Now let's keep on going with the command. So now we have ls, we have cd back. Now cd moving forward. That's great, but yeah, I want to move, but I want to open a file. How do I do that? Well, there's different ways. There's the function called less. So less is allowing you to open, to just clear and just show you all the files. So here I have just a bunch of languages. Okay. And you have cat. So the difference here is cat's just going to print, oh, not cat. Oh, that's actually a great way to have the opportunity to say that that if there's a command, let's say I write cag and it's running and it's not doing anything, let's say I do this, and it would be running a lot more. What the trick to do is simply write Control-C. Control-C, just cancel whatever command you just told. Let's say it's an infinite loop and you see, well, it's slowing down my computer, it's recursive, it just doesn't stop. Control-C, it's going to stop. Okay. So ls, we have cd, we have cat a file, so catatonate, if I say this correctly with my French accent. Cat just shows it on the terminal, while less, okay, while less here you see you're not in the terminal anymore. Another trick here you can have is nano. Nano is a text editor. So now except of just seeing the file, I can actually modify it. Rapidly, it's quite confusing, but when you have this, I would call it an exponent, but just a little hat, it basically means you need to press Control and the letter that you see. So if I want to exit, for example, I do Control X, then it prompts you, do you want to save the script? No, I don't want to change them. And you simply prompt back out. Okay. There's another one. I don't know if it's installed in this distro. Vim. Okay, Vim is also an option. Vim is slightly confusing for beginners. Vim has many commands, but rapidly you can orient yourself. To type in, press I, which allows you to type in. To escape the type in, what you do is you press escape. And to leave, what you need to do is this is right there and WQ. Okay. WQ saves. Q exclamation mark exits without saving. Okay. Personally, I can exit without saving. If you made a little script you want to save, WQ should do the job. If you're interested in learning more Vim commands, there's a whole set of tools online, a nice little website that describe you a bunch of different ways to orient yourself. So now we have cat, we have less, we have the way to orient yourself. Now, well, there's a bunch of different other commands, but how do I learn about them? Well, again, there's find. So find, the advantage here is find is can be quite complicated. Look at the man page for find. There's a lot of info. As I said, the problem with Linux, not the problem, but the difficulty with Linux is, again, I press Q to leave. Difficulty with Linux is not the difficulty of the script. It's basically, it's so vast. There's so much you can do, right? So again, so find can be very useful for people to find files. For example, let's say I want to find, let's go CD in music. As you saw here, music is not recognized. If I press tab, it doesn't know, but if I put capital M, then it finds it. Okay, and let's create a file. There's different ways you can create a file. There's touch. So touch, and it's a tutorial, and I look at it. There's tutorials right here, but if I go with Vim into tutorial, it's empty, right? But if I press enter, then I can start scripting, blah blah blah. Okay. Escape, of course, like this, WQ, and then I can cat it. So if I cat tutorial, see, I have exactly the script I had there. Okay. I can do the, again, less. Now, except of being inside the script, however, I'm elsewhere, but I cannot write. If I want to write, I can either nano like this, or the tutorial through Vim, or Vim can also work. Oh, Vim is not installed. Okay, it's V in this case. Okay. Okay. Rapidly, as this has been shown, let's go over this. One way to install packages is through sudo. Sudo stands for super user do. So super user do, basically, if you're going back right there, where we started, if you start going back, and you see here, if I do ls, okay, and if I try going back again, I see it ending up. So now you're in the root, you're basically where all the important files are. You can see root, if I see the in root, okay, don't permission denied, okay. Then if I want to look right now, using our tools that we learned, linking at root, what are the access rights to root? See that root is read write X for only the user, but for the group, which I'm still in because I'm not super user, I cannot do anything, right? Access denied. But if I do sudo, or sudo cd into root, okay. Oh, oh yeah, it's true. So if I want to go nano root, okay, you see, interestingly, as you can see, oh, we're in nano. So just sorry, X, yes. So it's late for everybody. Control X. No, I don't want to leave. Perfect. Okay. So I have cd in root, permission deny, and sudo cd root. Okay. cd sudo cd command not found. So how would you enter in there? Okay, that's a great question. However, before answering it, we need to go around and learn a little bit more about what's in here. Okay, so at the base of your computer, you have root, and as you see, everything seems to stem out of the root. The root goes into home, as it can go into run, into spin, into snap, into tmp, into user, into variables, into growths, media, library. Okay, so these stem out, and all of these have different access rights. Okay. No, this is a link. This is a sim link, a hard link. No, that's a hard link. Okay. So what you need to do, let's say you want to look and you want to change the right access to, I don't know, that could be quite dangerous, but it's there, to root. Okay. So what you could do is the command called chmod. Chmod allows you to change the right users for everything. But if I try to do this for root, changing denied, operation not permitted. If I do sudo and I do the same thing, chmod x root. Now I can. Why? Because now I was giving myself the total access to the computer. And cfll, let's go to root. Root is now not executable anymore, right? I suppressed the x from there. Okay. Now, what we can do is basically everything. You see, the owner here is root. Before the owner before it was Ubuntu. Okay. So you need to be root to access these precious files. Now, if you're working on a server like in Bioinformatics, in the Bioinformatics setting, this is not possible. We'll show you how to go over these in a different tutorial, of course. But if you want to change access files, root not permitted, you can either change it to all the users using chmod, and there's a lot of different options you can do here. You can add it, you can remove it, you can add it to only some people, or remove it to others. You can do it with sudo. Okay? So now if you're going to cd ubuntu. Here we're going to cd home ubuntu. Okay, and we're back here. Okay. Now, if you want to learn more about the different command lines, there's a lot of great tutorials. But yet again, trying to get involved, moving around, and when you have a question, usually the advantage of these command line, the Linux command line, just ask the question of what you want to do, and usually online you can find the reason, the way how to do it. So throughout the next tutorials, we'll actually go over more of the more specific tools, the specific command lines. They're going to be involved in getting not just oriented, but actually opening file, maybe running different scripts. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoy this short tutorial. Have a great night and enjoy yourself. Bye bye.